Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Superman has finally arrived, not just in the cinemas, but my 7-inch McFarlane Superman figure as portrayed by David Cornsweet in James Gunn's Superman. Now, it may seem a little bit hypocritical for someone who's trashed the film so much to buy the figure, but I always knew I was going to buy the figure because it's a theatrical Superman, and I was pretty much sure I was going to get at least one of them. Then I saw the figure and actually loved it, and then I saw the costume in the film, and it looked a lot better with some CGI fixing, and also the understanding of some of their choices sort of makes a bit more sense as well, and I really think it looks great. Now, it comes with a little card, of course, which has art which looks better on the card than it does on the back of the box, but it's the same art like usual. It's a deluxe theatrical edition, which has some embossing on the card and some text and information, and of course the packaging. It's a deluxe theatrical edition as well, with the embossing on there. It's got Krypton background on the inside, the logo. It does have art which I actually like better. I wish they'd used that instead of this comic book art, which doesn't look as good blown up. They could have used a picture of David Cornsweet like they did with the Christopher Reeve box, which would have been much better than this art, but it's still okay. And I've already lost Crypto. I don't know where it is. I only had it for 2 hours, but this is not about Crypto. But this is the version that had Crypto and Superman with the cape, because the other versions have a plastic cape, and there's a battle damaged one where he's got, burns and everything all over him, and then there's the regular one, and then there's this one with Crypto and the material cape. So I always go for the cloth capes if I can get them. If they make them, they don't always do them. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with the sculpting. I love the costume in that the shorts allow him to have some male sexuality, in the sense that he actually has a bulge. You can actually tell he's a male, unlike the other costumes where they had to wear like ballet dancer compression underwear and things like that to compress them so you couldn't see their bulge, their genitals, that they actually were a male. I found that really weird. As much as I love Christopher Reeve, his costume does suffer from that, whereas David Cornsweet doesn't seem to, because the shorts are sort of there for his decency. So I don't think they had as many issues there. So it looks great, and they've sculpted him well, and I'm really happy with the figure itself. Now, like I said, it's a cloth costume. It's got the wire so you can pose it, and of course it's got the S on the back, which mine has a little bit of a dent, so I'm a bit upset about that. I don't know if I did that when I was washing him beforehand, because everything that comes into my house is washed or wiped down, and I did use hot water, so I don't know if I did that. It might have already been there, but the sculpt looks good, the detail looks good, the colours look good. He's brighter than his nemesis, which we have to compare him to, Henry Cavill. I like the Henry Cavill costume, but I never liked that didn't have the briefs, and he had the same problem as Christopher Reeve, where he was very compressed and didn't really have any sense of male sexuality. Like his genitals were literally like erased, and I really don't like that in some of the superhero costumes. It's really one circumstance where you really should be able to see that a male is a male. So yeah, love the detail, but it's when you compare it to this, you can see the colouring is so much darker, and the toy is a bit too dark, because the costume was a bit lighter, but it appears darker in the film. Now this, I think the costume is lighter as well, but the toy is a bit darker. Now, of course, I have to compare it to Christopher Reeve, and there really is no comparison. But yeah, as you can see, he sort of has no bulge either, so he has that same sort of issue where he had some compression issues, and I think he also had to dress up, if you know what I mean, to not show anything in that costume. I don't really think that was necessary, but the details there, the cloth cape is there as well, the colours are brighter. I think this is the best one, obviously, but this is, I think, the second. I like it better than Cavill. It's also the details in the face. His face is really matte and just doesn't look real. Looks like he's got too much like powder and makeup on, whereas Cornsweet looks more like a real figure even though it's painted, and Christopher Reeves looks even more real because it's mostly plastic with some paint, and it usually looks more like flesh. Now, of course, I've got the Superpowers versions of the characters as well, although it's not actually Christopher Reeve's likeness. It's sort of the equivalent in the Superpowers version, and then there's also the David Cornsweet version. And they haven't done a Henry Cavill in the Superpowers. I'm surprised they haven't. They should. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the 7-inch McFarlane Superman. I think it looks great. I think they've done a really good job with the sculpting and the detail and the colour. And I'm very happy with it, and I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I didn't let the issues with the film stop me from buying the figure. And I don't hold anything against David Cornsweet. I've seen one interview with him now on The View, and he seemed to... I get the sense he really believes in the character and is a really genuine person, and I think he did a good job of portraying Superman within the confines of a James Gunn script and direction. And I hope he gets to play him in a film directed by someone else and written by someone else, where it's really... they get to focus on Superman and not have a whole army of other characters around him. But yeah, this is not a film review, so I'm not going to go into all the issues with that. But I didn't hold it against the toy, and I bought the toy, and I think he looks great, and I'm just really glad I have it. I'm going to go.